My name's Paige. I will be doing movie reviews on Smeryl's channel for now until I wear him down and can get one of my own. This time, sort of my debut, we are going to be doing Snow White and the Huntsman. If he can focus that, my editor. It stars Chris Hemsworth, Kristen Stewart, and Charlize Theron. I hope I'm saying her name right. I might not be.
Charlize Theron.
Theron. Sorry. I pronounce phonetically. I was so psyched to see this. I'm like, it's gonna be so good. But I didn't know Kristen Stewart was in it. Yeah, and anybody who reads the tabloids knows how she got that job. And trust me, when you see the movie, it will confirm it.
Bum, bum, bum.
She has no facial expression. I have seen more facial expressions
on Joan Rivers.
In the autopsy room on CSI, is what I was gonna say. She can do like the panicked breathing, and she goes all bug-eyed, but the rest of her face doesn't change. It drove me nuts. Charlize Theron was spectacular. She was awesome. I mean, if I ever wanted to pick somebody to play the evil witch, she would totally be my first bet. Which is another issue I have kind of with this movie, because Snow White's the fairest in the land, right? Anybody who has seen Kristen Stewart will know this is true. I don't understand this chick's appeal. I don't get it. But Snow White was the fairest in the land, and in no way in hell is Kristen Stewart prettier than Charlize. She's a babe.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this movie is Charlize Theron's comeback to movies.
She was awesome. She was believable, and Kristen Stewart just wasn't. There was the romance subplot, of course, her and the Huntsman, who is played by Chris Hemsworth. It is implausible, because in this entire movie, this chick has like 15 lines. The Huntsman only has like 20. But, I mean, anybody who saw The Avengers knows that he's not a big talker. He does the opening narration, and he has probably 20 to 25 lines throughout the rest of the movie. Don't get me wrong, his acting is good. I mean, he plays basically Thor as a drunk. Maybe that's not the right way to say it, but he's...
Most Marvel fans will get that reference.
Anyway, he, the first time you see him, he's drunk and getting into a bar fight. He mouths off to the queen. His character could have been so much more. And I think that's really what bothered me about this movie, is that there was so much potential. There were so many things they could have done if they hadn't cast Kristen Stewart and had found somebody who could act. And instead you get Kristen Stewart, and I've seen more emotion out of Pinocchio. She's wooden. She's bad. And I'm sure there are Twilight fans all over the country who are going to lynch me for that statement. Twilight put me to sleep.
Oh God, did it put me to sleep.
Seriously, we both passed out like halfway through the movie. Well, no, actually, he passed out like 15 minutes into the movie.
I'm not even kidding. Seriously, if you can even see me, I'm not kidding. It sucked.
It was bad. It was really bad. And the book, I loved the books. The books were good, Twilight wasn't, but that's a different review. Chris Hemsworth's character had great potential, and he is, I'm not gonna say he's a Shakespearean thespian, but he's a decent actor. Like I said, he does the opening narration. He has his little rant about when she's laying there supposedly dead, which is the best acting she has ever done. It would have been believable had they exchanged more than 12 lines, because he's talking about, you know, how everything he loves is taken away, and he is believable. It's the plot that isn't, because they've exchanged maybe 12 words. How can you be in love with somebody you've never spoken to? Okay, end of that rant. Charlize Theron in this movie, I give her 2 thumbs up, 5 stars. She was great. She was spectacular. Chris Hemsworth, 4 out of 5. The only real issue I had with his performance, and this, I don't really think this is his fault, his accent does this kind of frog on a hot rock thing. It just like bounces all over. One minute he sounds like Thor, the next minute he sounds like some English dude. Then he actually sounds Australian, which makes sense because he is. And yeah, but nobody stopped the cameras and said, dude, okay, take a minute, get it under control. This is how you're supposed to sound. I really don't think they told this dude how he was supposed to talk. You feel kind of bad for him.
A lot of this movie actually felt like there was no director in charge at all.
Well, that's because he was off banging Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, true.
You might want to edit that out too.
Oh, no. Oh, hell no.
Anyway, I didn't even know about that until after I'd seen the movie, and I was at work talking to one of my friends going, God, I can't figure out how she got this role. And Callie looks at me and goes, she slept with the director. And I was like, that explains it. That explains everything. To me, this movie was disappointing, and that pissed me off more than anything because there was so much potential here to be so good. And it just wasn't. It just kind of tapered off and did nothing. It was depressing and disappointing. God, how did she make $35 million a year?
Well, basically,
Seriously.
they said about $20.
Seriously. No, see, okay, he can get pissed at me about this part, but I didn't waste $20 because Chris Hemsworth was in it. And he's hot.
Oh, you're so good at that.
And I love his voice. Seriously, this dude could read me the phone book, and I would listen. Just like, whatever you want. That kind of thing. I am going to pay for that later. But anyway, Chris Hemsworth, 4 stars. Kristen Stewart, if possible, I would put her in the negative. She has no facial expression. Seriously, they could have picked somebody off the street to play Snow White better than she did, and for the opportunity to kiss Chris Hemsworth, most of them would have done it for free. If not most, then at least 50%. So, the Dwarves, however, this movie is worth it for the Dwarves alone. The Dwarves were freaking awesome. Yeah, but it's sad when the high point of the movie is characters that are in the movie for not even half of it.
I actually did a count, and it's actually 16 minutes total for the Dwarves, and they did better acting than Kristen Stewart or, Chris Hemsworth, because, again, he only had several lines.
Well, and honestly, they did not give the dude much to work with. They cast him with Kristen Stewart. How is he supposed to pretend he's in love with this chick when he's not allowed to talk to her? And it's sad. The star of the movie has the fewest lines in the movie. The Dwarves talk more than she does. Seriously, it's sad. But anyway, that's the end of my little rant. I believe next we decided we were going to do Tangled?
Yes, Tangled.
Tangled, which is a Disney movie. And you will actually be hearing from 2 of the target audience on that one, if I can get them to hold still long enough. Thank you. Have a great day.